In this video, we're going to see how to create a blueprint file and show a preview of our WordPress plugins on the repository. WordPress recently announced a new feature called a live preview for the plugins. And this feature allows you to add a live preview button to your WordPress plugin repository page. And by clicking on this, you can see a pre-configured WordPress playground website with your plugin and your own configuration. And the cool thing about this is that you need to actually add one JSON file to your plugin, and then this preview will be enabled. So let's see how we can create this file on our plugin. As you can see, after I clicked on that button, I've been redirected to this single product page with our configuration. So what our plugin does here is to add custom tabs to the product pages. So we're going to create a blueprint file that actually enables the live preview button for this plugin. The first thing that you need to know is that this file should be under the assets folder, and then you need to create a blueprints folder and then a blueprint.json file. So at the first stage of this feature, the WordPress team only allows one preview file, but they are saying that there's going to be more files and more previews. So the first thing that we need to add to this blueprint file is our landing page. So this is the first page that user sees when he clicks on the live preview button. By default, it's set to the home page, so we're going to leave it at that for now. The next thing that we need to add is the preferred versions for PHP and WP. So you can write this specific version like 8.0 or just say latest. So on the PHP also you can just write latest. The next thing that you might need is PHP extension bundles. So if you don't need any specific extensions, you can leave this empty. The next and probably the most important parameter here is the steps. So these are the steps that WordPress Playground would take in order to show the preview for the users. So it's an array of different steps. And as you can see here, by default, this preview file supports a lot of steps. Activate plugin, activate theme, bunch of Linux commands like cp, mvrm, and create directory, remove directory, and also an important one is run PHP. But the first thing that we need to do, if we want to do some admin actions, we need to first log in to the admin side of the WordPress. Each step has different parameters, but one consistent parameter is the step. And here you need to write the name of that step. And the other parameters are username and password. By default, these are admin and password for all the websites that are created by the WordPress Playground. And also remember that the steps in this array are ran by the order that you write them. So you need to write this step first if you want to do some admin things. The next thing that we want to do is to install WooCommerce. So as you can see, we have an install plugin command here. And what we can do here is to just copy this and change this to WooCommerce. Now remember that on the options side, you have an activate parameter that if you set it to true, it will also activate the plugin. You have also another command for activate the plugin that is here, and then you can see it. It will only activate the plugin, and the plugin needs to be installed on the website. Now, as you can see on the resource, we have written wordpress.org plugins, and then the slug of the plugin. This is for the WordPress repository plugins, and if you want to install a plugin from other resources, for example, if you have a zip file, then you need to change this resource to URL. And for the next parameter, instead of slug, you just need to write the URL, and this should be the URL to your plugin zip file. Now, assuming that we want to just install WooCommerce, the next step would be to install our own plugins, which is WooCommerce product tabs. And next we want to install one of the free themes on the WordPress repository. So for example, we want to install Storefront here. The same as the plugins, if you want to install the theme from a zip file, you just need to change the resource to URL, and instead of writing slug, you just need to write URL here and then the URL to your zip file here. So far we have logged into the WordPress admin, installed 2 plugins and 1 theme. And if you just want to check how the things are in your playground so far, you just need to copy the whole configuration, and on the playground.wordpress.net, after a sharp sign, just paste your configuration and hit enter. So here it should show you the steps that it's taking. Right now it's preparing WordPress, downloading the storefront, activating WooCommerce, and all the other steps. Now you can see that we have been redirected to the main page of the WordPress. You can check if the plugins have been installed on the admin side correctly or no. Now we have our 2 plugins activated here. So remember that if you close this page, all of your configuration is gone. So you have this website and this configuration as long as you keep this tab open. One of the most important steps is run PHP. So as you can see here, the code in this step must start with requiring WP load PHP. So the code would look something like this. It requires the WP load function, and after that you need to write your code. So this is not a clean way of writing code in the blueprint file, and hopefully they will allow us to include PHP files in the next versions of the blueprint file. But as for running the PHP codes, this is the only way to do it right now. What we are going to do in the next step is to create a product. So for this, we're running this PHP code, which actually uses the WP insert post function. And the parameters here are the post type of product and then the post title and post content. So nothing too complicated, just a WP insert post function. And as the next step, we're going to create a product tab that shows on all the products. So in our plugin, the tabs are also a post type called View Product tab. And by creating this tab and assigning a post title and post content to it, we will be able to show it on all the products. Now, in order to test this, we will paste this configuration on the Playground website again. So here, and now that the preview has been loaded, you can check the shop page and the products to see if we have that tab on the product. The tab that we created was shipping, and as you can see, we have the tab title and the tab content here. So if we want the users to see this page or the shop page by default, we need to change the landing page here. So if you want to change it here, the landing page should be changed to this product, which is product hoodie. And after that, the users will be redirected to that product page after the preview has been created. There are certain options that you might want to change on your preview website, for example, your site's name or your site's permalink or homepage or all the other things. So by default, the site title is my WordPress website, but if you want to change it, there is a specific step called Set Site Options. And by using this option, you can change the site's name. So we want to change the website name after we have logged into the admin side. And we want to change it to the WooCommerce product tabs. Now imagine that you want to also change the homepage of your website. So this settings is at the reading section, and you can all assign a static page to your homepage or set it to the latest blog posts. So you can actually inspect these two options and see their name in the database, because this function, this step as set site options, is the same as using the update options functions. So all you need is to use the name of these options on your playground. So here we're going to set the show on front to the page, and then set this parameter to the page ID that we want to show on the front page of the website. We don't have this page yet, but you can create this page and assign the ID to this parameter. There are two more important steps that you can use to create your preview website. One of them is importing the whole WordPress files. So as you can see here, we have a step called import WordPress files, and the URL to this step should be a zip file that contains all of your WordPress directories, WP content, WP includes, and then after running this file, your whole WordPress website would be loaded. So this might be a little heavy to load and also a little late. There's also another way to import a whole website onto the playground. You can also use the import WXR step. So in this step, you also need to link to a WXR file. And as you might know, you can export all of your WordPress posts and configurations in the Tools Export section. So you can choose which file to export, and then download the export file, upload it on a server, and then link to it on the configuration file. After you have created this preview file and pushed these changes to the WordPress SVN repository, all you need to do is to enable this live preview button. So you need to go to the advanced view section of your WordPress plugin and scroll down to the danger zone. And in this danger zone, you will be able to see the toggle live preview section. So as you can see, the live preview is already enabled for this plugin. So what it shows to me here is to disable the live preview. But if the live preview is not enabled for your plugin, then you will be able to enable it here. Let me know if you have any questions regarding creating the blueprint file for the WordPress.